Now let's get started because we've got a great show for you to see today. I'm so excited about our guest. The first guest is going to help us build our bank account. And I know as we start the new year and we're working on our New Year's resolutions, lots of us have goals. You know, lots of us have goals on how we can make more money, how we can keep in balance, how we can lose weight. And that's really what today's show is all about, is not only making those goals, but having the education and the information that you need to reach them and to surpass them and continue to move forward. And when I met this lady, I just wanted you to meet her too, because their bank is a little bit more unique. They do offer some things that I think you should think about. And I think that we all need to look at, okay, where are we spending our money and are we doing it wisely? Can we make better financial decisions? And I think she can shed some light on that for us today. So please welcome to the set Messerette. Messerette, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Kathleen.
I'm excited to have you here. Now tell everybody you're with Trustco Bank, who is a corporate member, which we absolutely love, so thank you. Shout out to all of our Trustco members, but tell us who you are, tell us a little bit about what you do, you know, and then we're going to dive into some of the information you have to share with us today.
Well, I'm Messerette Newsome, and I work for Trustco Bank. As you stated, I'm the branch manager at our Windermere location. That's at 2899 McGuire Road. I'm also a proud member of the Dr. Phillips DP chapter, so go Divas. And I'm excited about being here today. We've got some great things that we're rolling out for the new year, and I'm excited to be able to share some with you and our guests and your viewers today.
I think that's awesome, and I'm glad to have you here. Now, let's first talk about, there's people from all over the nation that are watching the show, and once it goes on our Woamtec channel or on our YouTube channel, there will be people, you know, everywhere that could be downloading this. First, let's talk about where is Trustco Bank located, because I think that that's important.
Okay, Trustco Bank is actually located out of upstate New York. Our home office is in Schenectady, New York. One of the things I think that I want everybody to be aware of is that Trustco has been around for 100+ years, okay? So we may be relatively new to the Florida market, but we're not new at all to banking. We've been around for 100+ years, and we provide a 100+ years worth of excellent customer service and banking knowledge.
That's awesome. Now, I know that Trustco is a little bit different in the way they operate, and I love that. So I want to first talk about, anybody can work with them, but what I first want to talk about is, you know, with Trustco Bank, who would be your ideal demographic? Who is your ideal client?
Well, I mean, we've got something for everyone. So, I mean, we've got something for the young adults who are going to be entering into young adulthood. So we've got something for the college student who's just starting off with a new account and they're not really familiar with how to manage that. We've got something for the college graduate who's looking for their first time home. We've got some excellent home lending programs. We've got something for the entrepreneur, first business account. So we've got a little bit of something for everyone. Retirement accounts. I mean, Trustco is a full service bank, and we have a lot of different products that are going to be great for anyone who's just looking to either save money, manage money, invest money. We can do it all.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about this, because most of the people that are watching the show are actually entrepreneurs. They're small business owners. There are people in business for themselves, sometimes by themselves. So one of the articles that I wrote that's on Woamtec Live, if you look at our entrepreneurial education, is called The Profits in the Sauce. Okay. And it talks about, it was an article that was inspired by a Chinese delivery that came to our office, and there were like 40 bags of sauces that were there, and none of us ate any of them, and we threw them all away. And so the article really focuses on, sometimes with businesses, they make bad decisions and they lose money. When they're so focused on making more money, they lose money because they're making bad financial decisions because the profit is in the sauce. You know, they're giving away things that they shouldn't be giving away. One of the things that I want to encourage each and every member to consider and to look at is how are you spending your money? Look at, in the new year, look at every single expense that's going out of your account, because I think it's important to just really hone in and make a difference and know that the profit's in the sauce. You know, so how can you save people money? How does your bank save people money?
Well, one of the things about when you talk about the sauce that's in there and saving, that company saving money, because you're right, they're throwing away a lot of money by giving out all that sauce and no one's using it. One of the first things I would say is look at your account. Actually see how much of that money is going to not to help you save, but towards the bank's profit. I mean, yeah, we're all in business for a profit, but at Trustco, we try to make banking easy, simple, and most of all, we do a lot of things free. Most of our checking products are absolutely free. One of the things that you want to do is take a look at your accounts. See how much money it's going to cost you just to use that debit card. I mean, see how much money it costs you just to have your money sitting there, even if you're not using it. Some of you all will probably be surprised at the amount of money that you're actually spending just to have an account open at a bank. At Trustco, it's absolutely free.
Okay. See, I think that's great, and for a teenager that's just getting a job, or somebody that's just in college, that's just getting out there, it's really important not only to have a personal bank that's going to help them, teach them some of the things that they may not know, but also to save the money, because $15 a month could be a lot of money to that person, and it does definitely add up, over the course of the year. So now, if there's somebody that's watching and they're in business and they're looking at 2014 and they're saying, I charge too much on my credit cards over the holidays, or I'm worried about cash flow, what would you recommend? Can they come to you, and are there things that they can do to look at consolidating, or what are some suggestions that you might have for them?
Of course, they can stop into our branch, and I'll be happy to sit down and talk with them. I'll go over any type of paperwork that they may have, and we can look at ways that we can try to cut, shave off, or actually save them money. I mean, we'll start with looking at their spending habits. Maybe there's something we can do there. Maybe start them a separate savings account where they can actually put just a little bit of, for instance, if you're spending money on coffee and you want to start to save, maybe you can put that coffee money into a separate account, a free account that's not going to cost you anything, and use those funds to sort of save and then pay off an account, some of those charges that you made at Christmas time. Pay that off in sort of a larger bulk way, so to speak.
Right.
So we can do that for you.
I have to say, I can't believe you just told people to stop drinking coffee during the middle of the holidays in this cold weather.
Listen, you don't have to stop drinking coffee, but maybe you want to drink it from the home instead of going out to some of these other places and spending so much on it.
I hear you, absolutely.
So, yeah, just come out the bank. I mean, I'm always at the bank. We're a hometown bank. We have a hometown feel. You're always going to get a face-to-face with us. One of the things I love about Trustco and what attracted me to Trustco is that particular fact. We're a neighborhood hometown bank, and we have a neighborhood feel and a hometown feel. So you're always going to have a face-to-face. You're never going to, talk to a computer, so you don't have to worry about yelling at the computer, unfortunately, or I should say, what is it, when you call in that automated? Well, you're actually going to be able to yell at me, so,
I doubt they'll yell at you, but I bet they could probably stop by the bank and get a cup of coffee.
Of course they can.
When they come by and see you.
Of course they can.
I think it's really important, too, to take a look at loans and home modification, or let's back up. Let's first, before we go into home loans and stuff like that, let's look at somebody that may have been affected in the last 5 to 7 years by the recession. Maybe their credit was damaged a little bit. It's not what it used to be. I run into people all the time that are trying to build their business, trying to make things happen, but because their credit was affected with a job change or lost the house or whatever in the last 7 years. Is there a program that you can offer that will help them rebuild their credit? And what financial investment would it take to begin that process?
Well, there is a program. You can start with as little as $500. You can come in, and what you can do is do a secured loan. That's where you're actually going to bring your money into the bank. We're going to secure that money for a certain amount of time, and you're going to pay us small monthly payments. We do that to accommodate you in terms of the monthly payment. We're going to make it easy for you. What you're doing there is you're going ahead and you're reestablishing a track record for yourself in terms of payments, and that's what we want to see out there. When you're going in to purchase something, they want to see what your past record like. They want to know how you've taken care of your businesses and your financing and paid your bills prior to coming in to see them. So one of the things you can do is start with a small amount of about $500 and do a share secured loan. You're going to get a lower interest rate, and you're going to be able to start to rebuild your credit.
Okay, so if I put $500 in an account and then I'm just making this up here, $50 monthly payments, do I end up with $1,000 or whatever it comes out to?
You're not going to end up with $1,000, unfortunately. Okay. You're going to end up with a little bit more than $500, though, because guess what? You're going to earn interest on that money as it sits in an account.
Okay.
So you're not going to end up with $1,000, but you are going to end up, and you better than that, you're going to end up with a great credit history and a great payment pattern.
So it's kind of like paying for your credit back, which is important. And if you're looking at something, it's better to take that small little loan and leap in order to move forward than to let 7 years, 9 years, 10 years go back before you're moving forward, because that will definitely stifle the growth of your business. It will definitely hinder you when you can't make cash flow decisions because you don't have credit. I think that's really important for every business person to look at. So in an overview, we're going to summarize by saying, or we're going to wrap it up by saying, you want to make sure that you analyze every single expense that you have, and if your bank is charging you too much money in expenses, understand that that's coming out of your profits. I did want to ask you that, how important is it? I do assessments all the time with smaller businesses, usually home-based businesses, that are commingling their finances, that they're putting their money into their personal account. What is your suggestion, or what is your recommendation for somebody that may be using one account, and I know you're not an accountant, but one account for business and personal?
Well, I would really recommend that you separate those accounts. I mean, in the end, when you go to, at the end of the year, when you go to do your tax, papers, and you go to your accountant, it's going to be easier for both you and the accountant if you've got those funds separated. So I would suggest that you look at a bank like Trustco, who does an absolutely free business checking account. Okay, it's not going to cost you anything. And I would suggest that you go ahead, come in and see me, and let's get you started with a separate account and keep those funds totally separate.
I think that's important. Most of the people that I do assessments with, when I do it, we realize that they think the account, they think keeping them together, they feel as though they're making money. But the minute you separate it and your business is entirely separate, you realize you're not really making money. Now, what about mortgages? Is there anything that you can do to help somebody in mortgages? How is Trustco different?
Well, I tell you what, we're different because we're a portfolio lender, okay? So that means that if you ever had a mortgage, you're familiar with the sale of the mortgages. So before you really get home and make that first monthly payment, guess what? They've already sold your mortgage, okay? Trustco does not sell any mortgages. We keep all of our loans on our books. So we're a portfolio lender, and that's great because, again, you're going to get that hometown, you're going to get that personalized, attention that you need. Okay, so you're always going to talk to someone that you're familiar with. The other thing I want to mention is we've got a great program that we've just rolled out, and I would say it would be worth it for you to come by or give me a call to talk about our 95% loan to value. It's a 95% program that we've just rolled out, and it is wonderful. And I would really encourage you to give me a call and find out a little bit more about that program.
Well, that's awesome. And I know that we have talked about the fact that you have a couple of special gifts. So tell us again where you're located at, the Trustco Bank in?
We're located in Windermere, 2899 McGuire Road.
Okay, wonderful. So the first 3 people that go by the bank and just stop in for a cup of coffee. It's cold out there, so just stop in for a cup of coffee. Messerette's got a gift for you. So she's going to have a special gift and a cup of coffee, and she'll answer any questions you have in regards to any of your banking needs. So thank you so very much for being here today. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and I know you are a Woamtec member. She's part of the Dr. Phillips DP Divas chapter, so if you have any questions, you can find her through the Woamtec directory, so you can contact her directly from the Woamtec directory. Or how else may they find you? Do you have a personal website or a phone number that you want to share?
I do not have a personal website, but I will share my phone number. I can be reached at 407-654-0498, and again, that's the Windermere location. That's at 2899 McGuire Road. And stop in and see me. I'd love to be able to talk with you, and I'll have a cup of coffee with you too.